But we had a sponsor for that day, and niggas didn't end up doing the sponsor. Game night. Yes, if you was there, you was there. Niggas didn't end up doing the sponsor. There was difficulties with the sponsor. Yeah. After that happened, according to the assistants and staff of the creators, they said that FaZe has pulled everybody for the rest of the month and sent niggas home early. Right? This is the first time where in my head, I went, how much control do we have here? And how much control do niggas have over us?
Over the last few days, FaZe Clan has completely crashed and burned. The team's reputation has been shredded, mostly because of people like FaZe Banks. And now, nearly every OG member has walked away, leaving the clan totally empty. It's wild to think that a group once crowned Streaming Org of the Year could collapse this fast, especially with even Adapt, a 14-year veteran, cutting ties for good. That move shocked everyone, both old-school fans and new followers, and it made it obvious that something deep inside the organization was seriously broken.
Gang, you see that little townhouse? They tried to make that nigga pay 20 bands a month. What the fuck? Or give a percentage of myself. What the fuck? But Max is such a good nigga, he just, yo bro, I just wanna, and now niggas like Max look crazy, look like egoed out niggas. No, that shit not cool though. Like niggas taking shit on the chin, making him look like this nigga the ego monster. Niggas don't know the truth, bro. Niggas don't know the truth.
And it all traces back to one person, Black Boy Max. He was the first to dip out of New FaZe a few months ago, and when it happened, people thought it was just an ego move. Everyone assumed he left to flex his success, get his own house, and start grinding content with his brand new crew. But wow, that assumption couldn't have been further from the truth. Max later went live to spill everything, exposing what was really going down behind the scenes. He revealed shocking details about how the team was being run, and it had fans rethinking everything they thought they knew.
Man, he's allowed to say whatever he wants as he feels. But as y'all know, I signed to FaZe in 2024, so at the end of the day, I signed papers. There's certain things I can and can't say.
Rumors started flying that FaZe was trying to trap creators into an unfair 80-20 deal. Like seriously, after a year and a half of loyalty and peak success, they were suddenly hit with contracts that felt completely backwards. Many couldn't believe it. Why would you ask for a deal like that after creators already proved their worth? Something clearly wasn't adding up.
What made me realize it's time for me to man up. If I want to be what I one day want to be or plan on being, I gotta bet on myself, no matter what happens to me or what niggas might try to do. So out of these moments, I really questioned, and I think I made a decision, especially after this, where I'm like, bro, what am I gonna do here? I can't be here no more. And I honestly didn't think I was gonna leave as soon as I did, but it was on some shit like, bro, I gotta make this decision sooner or later.
Sure, the members get the luxury treatment, massive houses, rent-free living, endless brand deals, paid collab streams, and every perk you could dream of. It sounds like the dream life, right? But the truth is, they're already making so much money on their own that handing over a big slice of their earnings just doesn't make sense anymore. Why stay on a team that suddenly wants to take a heavy cut of your success? We're not talking small numbers here either. 20% of their income isn't just a casual $10,000 anymore. For most of them, that's easily between $100,000 to $200,000 gone every month. That's a serious bag. And if these rumors about FaZe taking money from their own members are legit, it's no wonder people started walking out fast. Max even mentioned that everyone had to sign strict documents when they first joined. Contracts from FaZe that listed specific things they weren't allowed to talk about.
From this Black Boy Max stream where he's playing a laugh track over my tweet, and it's like, Max, I know we've had like our individual differences, and I know I haven't really seen eye to eye with a lot of the talent because truthfully and honestly, I find you guys all to be incredibly ungrateful. I find you guys all to have insane egos, and I think it's disgusting and makes me sick to my stomach that your guys' relationships with each other and with every other streamer, and your community included, is so incredibly fake. You guys are the best actors on planet Earth, and you've made a complete career out of all of it. Max, these are your boys, but these are the same guys that said they fucking hated your guts after you left. And you know, you're the program and you have an ego the size, you think you're Travis Scott and this and that. And also, like, Max, multiple conversations about how Ron's content's cringe, and you guys didn't fuck with the dap. None of you guys fucked with Lacey or Jason in the beginning. You guys didn't want these guys to live anywhere near you. You barely wanted to share a brand with them. But FaZe was gonna fund a Miami house for you, Rage, Silky, and Kason, so fuck it. We'll take what we can get. And then it all worked, and we forced this relationship. And I was called a fucking retard then, and I was told then I was ruining FaZe, and now 2 years later, it wound up being the best thing that ever happened. So you understand why I'm sitting here and I'm frustrated.
That detail alone had fans thinking, hold up, maybe this theory isn't so far-fetched after all. But here's where it gets confusing. Max himself is living large in a massive LA mansion that probably costs over 100 grand a month after all the bills. Utilities, water, electricity, Wi-Fi, everything. It makes people question just how deep this situation really goes and who's actually getting the better end of the deal. They're all living together in a huge content house, and with that kind of setup, things are always getting messed up. Equipment breaking, walls scuffed, furniture trashed, it's non-stop chaos. But back to the main point. Max had his own guest house on the property, basically all to himself. And since FaZe was helping fund a ton of his other projects, especially his past work like the first FaZe Subhan, it really didn't seem like a big deal for him to toss in a bit for rent, right?
Something obviously happened, obviously. Their thought was we're gonna continue to be a group, but we're just gonna start our own thing together without FaZe.
He was clearly making enough to cover it. Still, Max decided to step away and carve his own path. He left FaZe behind and started building his solo brand from scratch. And man, when that news first dropped, everyone was saying he was about to fall off hard. People were convinced his career was about to flatline. And even I'll admit, some of us made those same predictions in our videos too. But shockingly, that's not what happened at all. Yeah, his views dipped for a bit right after he left, but they shot right back up once people saw what he was cooking on his own. Suddenly, the Max fell off talk flipped completely. Fans started giving him props for standing on his own 2 feet. Everyone's perspective changed. Well, everyone except FaZe Banks. Once the rest of the team started leaving too, Banks couldn't stay silent.
A week ago, we all stopped streaming during the last day of our marathon that we were doing. We didn't really, I know a lot of people thought, oh, we're trying to make this a joke or whatever. That's never been the thing. There's a lot of stuff that's happening. Obviously, it was in our best intention to leave FaZe Clan. So all the speculations that oh, this is an announcement, or this is something that we've planned, this was not planned, and this was just some things that we came to terms. And
I mean, everything that Ron said is true. The main thing I wanted to let y'all know is, cause seeing everyone leave online, one by one, obviously it looks crazy, and you guys don't know a lot of what is happening behind the scenes. But what I can say, what I will add to that, is that nothing is going to change from the viewer's perspective, from the chat's perspective, with our dynamic. We are all still rocking with each other. We're all staying together. Me, Ron, Lacey, Jason, Silky, Kason, Rage. We're all still doing our thing collectively and working on our own thing moving forward, and still going to be a part of each other's content. It's not like everyone's going in over here and doing their solo thing, over here and doing their solo thing. We're all still doing what exactly we were doing before, not underneath those 4 letters anymore, which it hurts. It hurts me, I think, a little bit more than everyone else, but I feel like it had to be done. It was too much of back and forth and too much stress over the months, a lot of things you guys don't know about, and I do think that this will be for the better, and that's really what it is. Yeah.
One of the biggest things that we wanted to make sure, adding on to Adapt, it's kind of the same thing, but it's nothing's changing. I know a lot of people made a lot of speculations. Okay, they're gonna split, they all gonna go on our solo, whatever it might be. Are they gonna make another group? We don't have any plans on anything right now besides just staying together and just...
He jumped straight into the drama with a tweet that read, "I have nothing to do with what's going on in FaZe Clan right now." That one line set off a whole new wave of speculation and chaos. Banks followed up his tweet by saying, "I left 4 months ago and have moved on with my life. Unfortunate to see. Wishing everyone involved the best. If there's anything I can do to help, I'm here. No one loves FaZe more than me." But not long after, he dropped a whole video addressing the situation, mainly focusing on Max leaving, and that's when things took a dark turn. He threw out some seriously harsh comments about Max that shocked a lot of people. What made it even more ironic was that Banks used to hype up all the new FaZe members nonstop when they first joined. He was all over social media praising them, showing support, and acting like the proud leader of the group. But that energy disappeared once he walked away from the team. In that same video, he also mentioned that he went deep into debt after buying back FaZe and trying to rebuild the organization from the ground up. That confession really flipped the narrative. People started realizing how messy things had gotten behind closed doors. At this point, it didn't even feel like there was a right or wrong side anymore. Everyone had messed up in one way or another. The management made bad calls, the owners dropped the ball, and even some of the ex-members had their own shady moments.
He himself went into debt after buying back FaZe and helping get it back on its feet.
I have never made not one singular dollar outside of my salary via FaZe. Not selling it, not buying it, raising money. I've just put myself further and further in debt. Yeah, I think FaZe to acquire and all the costs for these guys' careers over the last 2 years, I think ballpark 40 million bucks. And I think probably collectively these guys have had to have probably made like 20 million in the last 2 years collectively, I would guess. And not $1 of that 20 million has ever gone back to FaZe, never mind me. I would hope anyone watching could sit here and understand why I would be frustrated while a fucking entire hate mob is coming after me on fucking Christmas, my first Christmas without my mom, when all I've ever fucking wanted to do is help FaZe be successful. That's all I've ever wanted to do. That's the only intent. Where's the money? I'm this fucking guy who's trying to take everything from everybody. Where is it? Then why the fuck am I millions of dollars in debt? Where is it? It's in Blackboy Max's bank account. It's in fucking Silky's bank account. It's in Jason, Ronaldo, Lacey's bank account. I wish this never happened. I wish that I never did any of this.
It's really sad to think, but at this point, it seemed like there was really no right or wrong side of the situation. The FaZe management were wrong.
But honestly, most of these people probably left to protect what mattered most: their money, their careers, their personal brands, and their future. Even if they can't legally speak on it because of contracts, it's pretty clear what was going on. When big money's in the mix, it's never simple to walk away, especially after you've spent over a year building something with a group that helped shape your entire career. The deeper the success, the harder it is to escape the mess. Then came FaZe Rain. He jumped right into the mess by posting a story backing up Banks and hinting that he knew exactly what was going on behind the scenes. In his post, Rain wrote something that hit hard. One day you will realize everything on the internet is fake. The people, fake friendships, fake intentions, fake stories, fake loyalty, non-existent. That line alone had fans' jaws dropping. He went on to say, "I had a sliver of hope that there were still some good ones out there, but when I realized even the good ones were only good when it benefited them, I knew I didn't belong in this industry." That was a powerful statement, one that made it sound like Rain was completely done with the fake Hollywood-style energy surrounding the creator world. His words painted a picture of someone who'd seen too much and couldn't keep pretending everything was okay. But the drama didn't stop there. One of FaZe's stock owners, Matt Kalish, the co-founder of DraftKings, also chimed in on the chaos. He publicly admitted that FaZe's entire business structure was unsustainable. He explained that influencers living in multi-million-dollar mansions were given two choices: go independent or sign contracts with Hardscope, a massive content agency known for taking a huge cut of creators' earnings. And that was likely the exact deal everyone had been whispering about all along. The more that came out, the more it felt like the truth was way messier than anyone expected. The FaZe members signed under Kalish also spoke out, trying to calm the chaos a bit. He said, "My best guess is that they're all good kids, but they've got too many people whispering in their ears and they're just confused." Kalish revealed that he had poured over $10 million into the group in just the last 18 months. That's a massive investment. And honestly, if FaZe wasn't taking any percentage of the revenue their creators were making, there's no way the company was turning a profit at all. It made people realize that behind all the glitz and hype, the numbers probably weren't adding up. With the creators leaving one after another, FaZe practically vanished overnight. The entire org that once ruled streaming just evaporated. That had fans wondering if maybe the ex-members were secretly cooking up something new. A fresh group with a new name, no contracts, no corporate nonsense, just a bunch of friends making big money and wild content together. That idea alone had everyone excited, thinking maybe this was the rebirth of something legendary. But just when people thought things were cooling down, Banks came back swinging. The very next day, he dropped another video, this time exposing text messages that Max had sent him over the past year. The messages showed that Max didn't just see Banks as a business partner, he looked up to him like a mentor. Max had even confessed that he regretted leaving FaZe, which was heartbreaking to see considering everything he'd said publicly about Banks. In his video, Banks got emotional and admitted that the entire situation was eating away at his mental health. You could tell he wasn't just frustrated, he was genuinely hurt. This whole feud wasn't just drama anymore, it was personal. Max jumped back on social media once again, dropping a post that had everyone talking. He wrote, "I respected Banks, and after I left FaZe, Banks would call me and tell me I needed him and that my career was falling off." He went on to say that Banks took advantage of him during one of the darkest moments of his life, when he was depressed and even hospitalized. Max admitted that at one point he actually started believing all those calls and almost rejoined FaZe because of it. That confession stunned everyone. But then things took a turn. Max revealed that in November, he got introduced to a new manager who opened his eyes to what was really happening. He said this manager helped him see that a lot of what Banks had been telling him were straight-up lies. Since cutting ties, Max said he's been landing bigger guests, working with massive brands, and even setting up a 2026 plan that's supposed to be his biggest move yet. The tone of his post made it clear, he's not looking back. But Max wasn't the only one clapping back. Just hours later, a bunch of the ex-FaZe members went live together to clear the air. They called out Banks directly, saying that everything he'd been saying about them was completely false. They also confirmed what fans had already been guessing, that they're still sticking together as a group, just not under the FaZe name anymore. It's a new chapter, same crew, different banner. At this point, the situation was beyond messy. Everyone had their side, and no one came out clean. There really wasn't a clear good guy or villain in this whole drama. Both sides made mistakes, both had valid reasons, and now the internet's split in half trying to decide who to believe. Honestly, it's wild to watch how deep this feud has gone. The creator world's never been this dramatic, and this story's far from over. Make sure to like and subscribe for more updates, because if things keep heating up like this, we're just getting started.